So, welcome to the chapter number 4, section C, which is identifying your targets and prospects for special purpose CRM. These are the people who need the CRM to manage the processes for special purposes. So, in today's videos, I will share some examples of some customers with you, like debt collection business, loans and funding business, agent recruitment process business, and legal advisor and tax consultant professionals. We will understand the business processes for all four of them. We will also understand which processes these businesses manage with the CRM, and at the end, why these businesses need the CRM. So let us start with debt collection business. Who are these debt collection guys? Right? Let us first understand that. These are the people who keep you and me reminding about our credit card and other bills. Many times you must be receiving a call saying, I'm calling from so and so bank. This is your bill, this is its due date, and this is the amount. Please pay it. But actually, it is not the bank calling us, the agency is calling us. It is the debt collection agency to whom the bank has outsourced the function of payments follow up. Okay? Now, let us understand how these guys work with the bank and what is the process, right? And how the CRM manages it. Firstly, what does the bank do? They share the borrower's data with the agency. Okay? These guys at the agency have to follow up the payments for credit cards, loans, etc. Hence, they need the data of borrowers. So, the bank provides them the data. Now, there is one more thing. One debt collection agency may have tie ups with multiple banks. It is possible that there is one big debt collection agency and there are a number of teams. And they have tie ups with various banks like HDFC, Axis Bank, ICICI, and have separate dedicated teams for each bank. So, multiple banks can have tie ups with one debt collection agency. So, we again come back to the same point that the bank shares the borrower's data with the agency. When the debt collection agency receives the data, if they are using any CRM, they import the entire data into the CRM. And after importing the data into the CRM, it is assigned to the agents for follow up or reminders. As the follow up happens with the borrowers, like the data is given to the agents, they start following up. What can happen next? Two things. Actually, three things. One, the customer will not pick up the call. Another possibility is that the customer answers the call and promises to pay on the coming Monday. And the third possibility is that the number does not get connected. So, during the entire process, as the agent calls a borrower, he sets a disposition as to what happened after the call. If the call is not picked up, they will mention call not answered and will put the next day's date as the follow up date so that the CRM can remind him about it. Suppose someone has promised to pay, say on Monday. So they will put as promise to pay with the date. He will put the comment or remark and enter the follow up data of Monday so that he can call the borrower exactly on Monday to remind that he needs to pay on that day. This is it. I will now tell you about the reports. These things happened. Bank shared the data was assigned to the agents. Before that, it was imported to the CRM and then was assigned to the agents. Now, the agency, the debt collection agency, has to send all the data back to the bank. What are these reports? How much borrower data was received from the bank? What was the follow up? How many have paid? How many have refused? How many numbers could not be connected? And so on. These reports have to be sent to the bank regularly at designated times. This can be a challenge. The CRM makes this a lot easy for them. So, to manage the entire process, they require CRM. Okay. I will briefly explain again. The first is the database that we talked about. They get the borrower's data, they import it in the CRM. This is database management. The second is follow up with the borrowers and updating the status. Right? They will follow up and update the status, like what happened and what did he promise to pay, when did he promise to pay. Then comes monitoring of agents. When all the data is assigned to the agents, there should be some system to monitor them. Which agent was assigned how many borrowers' data, how much payment he could successfully collect, how many did he call, and so on. So, this works for monitoring as well. The fourth is reporting, which is the most important. As I had told you, the agency needs to send the reports at regular intervals with the status of the borrowers. Now I will talk about the CRM plus telephony. Many customers from the debt collection business take the telephony solution along with the CRM. This becomes a perfect solution for debt collection. Why? I will explain. When we integrate the CRM with telephony, how are the agents benefited? One is click to call, which means that they have the borrower's data, it is in the CRM. If they click there on the call icon, the call is through. They can start talking to the borrower with the help of headphones. This means there is no need to use any extension. Their work is done quickly. While talking on phone, they update the record as well using the headphones or earphones. The second is progressive dialing. At some places, even this is possible that suppose agent A gets the data of 50 borrowers. A campaign will be created of the progressive dialing and it will be started. As the campaign is turned on by the calling agent A, the system starts dialing on its own, agent wise, borrower date wise, sequence wise. When the conversation with one borrower is over and the status is updated, it will automatically call the next one. So these click to call and progressive dialing help a lot in improving the productivity. The third is the call recordings. You can understand that the call recordings are very important in the agencies in the industry. All the recordings are available and the call reports are generated. How many calls did an agent make? How many missed calls were there? How many of them were called back? What was the duration of these calls? So on and so forth. Detailed reporting of calls. So now we will move on to the next example, which is loans and funding. These businesses too need the CRM to manage their processes. Let us understand and get a brief idea of their business process. You might be having some idea about their business, yet let's have an overview for the same. So first of all, let us suppose they are giving education loan, business loan, or property loan, or it can be any other loan. Okay, so basically they are the loan provider of various types of loans. What happens is the leads of these guys come from various sources, right? Some talk on Facebook, some advertise on the website, some have databases. For example, for the educational loans, they have the database of schools, right? Of children's parents. First, they manage the database, parents, children, business, property details of the documents, so on and so forth. This database is managed in the CRM. Now, let us talk about what happens in the next steps. The leads which come from various places, I've talked only about the online sources like website or school database. It is also possible that a lead is generated from a referral, from a call, from a referral. So the lead is assigned to a telecaller or a salesperson. What happens next is they run a campaign. There are two types of campaigns. One is calling campaign. If they're going with the telephony, possibly they will call by dialing automatically. Or they can call with manual dialing and run the campaign, saying we provide this loan, etc., etc. And they can give them the offer, whatever it is. Or they can run a marketing campaign through the CRM, where they can, through scheduled WhatsApp, emails, SMS, tell about themselves, reach the information on the data to the customer. This is possible when they have a database. When they receive an inquiry from somewhere, they can call directly rather than running the campaign. Hope you understand this. Now, what happens when someone responds to the campaign or someone shows interest to talk further? So, the team will follow up with him, telecaller or the salesperson, and as the follow up with them is done, they will collect the documents step by step to check their eligibility. And as they submit the documents, then the approval and then closure as to how much loan is approved, etc. Correct? Now, from receiving the lead up to the closure, you must have observed that this process requires regular follow up and tasks, right? First, to run the campaign, or if a campaign is not created, follow up on the data, understanding the customer's loan requirements, then collecting the documents, submitting those documents in time, and then reverting to the customer if there is anything else missing in the documents or something more is required. In this entire process, follow up and tasks are required, timely completion of which is very necessary. Since the data to be worked on is large, the difficulty or the challenge for the salespeople or telecallers is to remember them all. So, CRM is majorly required for this. When we talked about a marketing campaign, that too needs the CRM. So, some also manage the EMI follow up after the loan is provided. So, some are such that lead is managed, all right, to follow up or to complete the task, then the correct. Then, when the loan is approved and disbursed, some people follow up even on the EMI. They have a special team to follow up on EMI, depending on whether they themselves are the loan provider or the third party, etc. Now, in this whole process, we do need the CRM to manage the leads properly, to manage the documents, to manage the marketing, and to finally manage internal tasks. So, now let us move to the third business, which is recruitment agency. What do these guys manage in the CRM and why? Let us understand. They have tie ups with many companies. Their business is their business is that they provide job applicants to various companies. So they have tie-ups with companies. So they have tie-ups with many companies. Firstly, there will be a database management of that company, right? Here too, you need the CRM to manage the database. Now let us talk about what happens when any vacancy is received from any company for any position. So the company shares the data with the recruitment agency about the vacancy and the number required. Now, what does the recruitment agency do? They advertise for the job vacancy. Maybe if we are talking about online, they will advertise on Facebook or on LinkedIn or Naukri.com, or maybe they have a database and they run a WhatsApp campaign or go and talk in a placement cell or whatever it is. They will advertise as per their planning. They will spread the information. Now, if any applicant shows an interest in the job, they must prepare a complete contact with all the details. Now, again, this is database management of the job applicants in the CRM. Now, what is the next step? Obviously, if someone has shown interest, they will be asked for a CV, right? They will be asked for a resume, and that CV will be attached to the contact of the job applicant in the CRM, so that they will always have the CV ready. This covers the document management. They will submit the same CV or resume to the company. Now, what will the company do? The HR in the company will shortlist the CVs that they will find suitable for the job. Suppose the recruitment agency has sent 10 CVs, 5 are shortlisted out of them. Now the interview will be scheduled for the 5 shortlist candidates for the next process. The interview dates that the company gives to the agency sets them in the CRM so that they can follow up with the company as to so many candidates would attend the interview on that day. Secondly, they will remind the job applicants that they have to attend the interview on that day in time. This is very important. That is why they need the CRM for scheduling of appointments and reminders. Now, out of the 5 candidates attending the interview, say 3 out of those 5 are selected. So the 3 selected candidates are mapped against that company in the CRM so that they get the correct reporting as to how many candidates from the agency are working in that company. And the basic details they want to fill in, like the package or the CTC or package or how much commission is receivable or whatever. They can enter these details for future reporting. Now, for those who are not selected, they look for another opening in another company. Okay, till then they are kept in process, they are not closed. So this too needs follow up, and here too they need the CRM. So I'll give you an overview of the businesses who can go for the CRM. Firstly, they have to manage the databases of companies and job applicants. So here the CRM is useful. Secondly, for document management, as I said, CVs, resumes, or appointment letters, they attach and store them. The third is interview follow up and reminders, which is very important, reminding the company as well as the job applicants. So they need the CRM for this process as well. Then marketing campaigns, they run WhatsApp campaigns or email campaigns for the job. That also requires the CRM for marketing purpose. And the fifth is reports. Which reports they need to generate, like which candidate was selected in which company, what package they got, so on and so forth. They have all what package they got, so on and so forth. They have all the reports made properly. I hope you have understood why the CRM is required to manage the recruitment agency process. But remember always, ticket size matters. The small local placement people do not need the CRM. Those who operate on a certain scale, whose ticket size is also good, they will need the CRM for recruitment agency work. So now let us move on to the fourth type of business, that is legal advisor and tax consultant. What do these guys use the CRM for and why do they need a CRM? So firstly, you must have heard about the processes like trademark registration, visa process management, GST return filing, documentation and such others. All these are looked after by them. So when we talk about their processes, we can see that multiple people are involved for different tasks. And how is it? Let us take an example. Suppose a trademark has to be registered. Okay. So, what is the process? Firstly, the trademark is searched, then it is filed, documents about the product are collected from the customer, then the application is examined, published, submitted to the government, and then the government searches for any duplication of name when they ask for renaming. If there is no duplication, it is approved. When it is approved, the registration certificate is received. It has to be renewed as well. So, if you see, for each function, different persons are involved. Like one person files, another examines, some other person would publish it. So, multiple people are involved. When any client approaches them for trademark registration, the work is assigned to multiple persons. So, to manage the whole process, the CRM is absolutely essential. The reason is everybody should be able to see all the tasks and everybody should complete their respective tasks in time, which is easily possible through the CRM dashboard. Now, let's talk about its cycle. These processes are of long duration. Visa processing or GST return filing or trademark registration. Is it completed quickly? No. These processes take a long time. Dates have to be observed as there is a validity period. Steps have to be taken within that time. There are recurring tasks as well, like GST return filing. They have to file it every year, right? So, a recurring task should be generated automatically. That is necessary. It is a complex process, I must say. And we have implemented this, so I know how complex it is. To manage these complexities, the CRM is required for the legal advisors and tax consultants. Let us summarize now what we have covered. In the beginning of the section, I had told you about the customers who need the CRM for the sales process. In the second section, I told you about the customers who need the CRM for help desk or a ticket management process. In today's section, we learnt about the requirement of the CRM for special purposes. I also gave you a few examples of the industries which need the CRM. So, this should have given you a clear idea about where the CRM can be used, where you can pitch it, and now you know the processes also. So, in this video, you understood how easily the processes are managed in the CRM and how it is useful for them. So, let us meet in the next section where I will be giving you the practical tips for identifying your targets. I will give you several tips. We will also talk about the myths about the CRM. Stay tuned. See you in the next section.